Mile High Huddle.
Coming in from my friend Shay Dolan. Thoughts on the Broncos' ability to pass block to allow Locke time to get off the ball? Man, this is a tough one, Nick. We both thought the Broncos were going to invest in offensive tackles early in the draft. And when I say early, the premier rounds 1 through 3. The Broncos did not go offensive tackle at all.
Yep.
What do you think about the current situation of the Broncos offensive line? Because I think we all feel very comfortable about Lloyd Cushenberry, Dalton Reisner, and Graham Glasgow. Your tackles, what do you think, Nick?
If Juwan James can be healthy and play, the Broncos offensive line can be a solid B. To a B plus even, I think, with that interior trio. Now, that being said, if you're depending on Juwan James, that's a recipe for disaster given his history. But when he was out there last year, the Broncos offense looked as good as they did all season. He's a different cat. I mean, he's got the length, the movement skills. He's really good. He's younger than Garrett Bowles, despite already being on the second year of his second contract. So actually, it might be his birthday today. He's only like a week younger than Garrett Bowles. So it's
and Garrett just had a birthday the other day too. So
Juwan James
crazy.
is coming right up.
Okay.
But the tackle's still an issue. It was still going to be an issue. The Broncos offense, or I guess roster in general, was at a point where they're obviously trending in the right direction, but they weren't going to fix everything right away. So once the big 4 tackles went off the board by 15, and obviously the NFL did not like Ezra Cleveland / Josh Jones as much as the media did, because those guys slipped.
Yep.
I think that the Broncos decided, you know what, offensive tackle is an important position. Bowles is serviceable for a year. We have this investment in Juwan James. We like Elijah Wilkinson. We need to get this speed on the offense. And so they went with KJ Hamler. After that, I mean, you're probably not getting a guy that's challenging either Bowles or James in the mid to end third round. So that's the direction that they went. We'll see if it's good in the end. But the fact that, I mean, Vic Fangio sounded like he was the one who was pounding the table the hardest for KJ Hamler. So I know a lot of people wanted Josh Jones. A lot of people wanted Ezra Miller. But Fangio wanted KJ Hamler because what that speed can do to dictate defenses, dictate coverages, make it easier on the quarterback. So is the pass blocking the biggest concern on offense? Outside of whether or not Drew Lock can be the franchise guy, yes, it comes down to the offensive tackles. But again, they weren't going to have a perfect roster entering the season no matter what. So if tackle's the thing that's the issue coming in this season, guess what? Go back to the drawing board next offseason. David Bakhtiari, Andre Villanueva, Nate Soldier, all guys that could be free agents. Go to the draft. There's going to be some good offensive tackles in the draft. I'm already looking at this class. It looks pretty good. So obviously it's a worry this year, but I don't think you weren't going to have no worries this season.
You ain't got to have no worries. Well, the Broncos have some worries, and they've got some worries at the left tackle position. And, Nick, one of the biggest things, hearing Elijah Wilkinson talk this week to one of my best friends, Cecil Lammy, and Nick Ferguson on 104.3 The Fan, and he kind of took a shot at Bowles. Now, I don't know. I don't have the quote directly. Maybe you can find that for me or just help me figure it out. But it was kind of like, well, I'm really looking forward to competing at the left tackle position because some people think I can do it better than others. And that was very directed at Garrett Bowles. Now, Elijah Wilkinson, he's been playing every position but center, basically, since he's been here. So I'm excited to see what the big cat has. This is a prove-it year for Elijah Wilkinson. It's a lot like Billy Turner kind of freakishly got paid by the Green Bay Packers when he came in and saw a lot of starting time. And I don't know that they necessarily got their money's worth with Billy Turner, but when I hear a big man talk a big game and you know there's some struggles with Garrett Bowles, and Garrett Bowles, he's got the athletic ability. He's got it. It's the coach ability. That's all it is with Garrett. And I know I'm trying to minimize the situation, and the Broncos have Mike Munchak, Hall of Fame player, great coach, but at some point you have to figure out whether or not you have a football player or you have an athlete. I think Elijah Wilkinson could very well be giving Garrett Bowles a serious run for his money at the starting left tackle position by the end of training camp.